Report a shot fired at officers trying to stop the vehicle. We have one officer shot.
We got shots fired. Sounded like an automatic firearm.
Copy, code red, shots fired.
We have an active shooter. We have an active shooter inside the warehouse.
Now it's Shots Fired with your hosts TJ Kirgin, Dinah Death Milberg, and the lovely Krystal Powers.
We're back. It's Shots Fired. I'm TJ Kirk. Why are you laughing at me already?
I think
look
that's
on
just
your
her,
face
like,
was just like, all
normal
right, let's do this.
Yeah, let's just F it. We'll do it live.
Yes, exactly.
That's exactly how I feel. Walked into the studio and I've got no idea what we're going to talk about today, but it'll come to us, I'm sure. I'm TJ Kirgin, aka ᵃᵗ&ᵗ, sitting here with the lovely Krystal Powers.
Howdy.
And the not so lovely Dinah Death Milberg.
hello.
And two of us have a reason to celebrate this weekend. One of us does not. Because it's Father's Day.
Oh, I was way off.
Pride week. It's Pride month.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Pretty soon it's just going to be Pride year. They're just trying to take over everything.
Don't put that in their heads.
do we have to jump into Pride so early in the show?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Just
So what
get it out of the
Pride
way.
gear are you getting for your dad for Father's Day?
Absolutely. You got a gun.
He got a gun?
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. It almost works with this show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Weird,
so-
right?
So does your dad listen to this show?
Probably not.
Okay. So because this show airs on Saturday morning and Saturday
No,
night.
I'm pretty sure they do.
Okay. So we don't want to talk about
so you
what
can't
he
say
got
what it
because
is.
No, I can say. I don't
it'll
know.
ruin the surprise.
No, he already got it.
Oh,
He-
okay.
He picked it up today.
What'd he
It was
get?
an early gift. SIG 938.
Okay.
It only took him.
So was it a straw purchase? You bought it, but
no,
you picked it
no,
up?
No.
It's really not a straw purchase if you buy it for a direct family member.
He's been looking for like 5 or 6 years trying to figure out
For
what,
a SIG 938?
just what he's analytical to the point of overdoing it, where he likes to overanalyze and over research everything
Right.
to the point where he never actually gets it because he's so busy researching it.
Okay.
So he's had it narrowed down.
Kind
to
of like you with your Camaro.
yes,
Yeah.
where it got
2 years
stupid.
of researching.
Well, no, like 9 months of that was waiting for it to get built.
Well, it's just like anything else on Father's Day.
Good point.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
he couldn't. He had it narrowed down to like 5 different handguns or something.
Right.
And then this was one of the ones when we were blowing out the remaining inventory of SIG that he snagged up because he's like,
Oh,
all right,
sweet.
no
So he got it out of our inventory.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Because we're actually blowing out some SIGs and some HKs and selling them for $100 under cost.
Wow.
Yeah. We can't advertise the price on the internets, but
There's like 2 left.
if you add it to your cart, it'll show you the price.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Yeah, so it's the SIGs and the HKs on our website right now. The handguns
Yep.
are $100 below my cost. We had a warehouse full of them down in Florida, and we decided we don't want that warehouse anymore, so we're just blowing them out.
Wow. Legit.
Absolutely.
Cool.
The warehouse is actually at Tactical Disneyland, which ironically is the shirt I'm wearing today.
That's amazing. You should face the camera so
should
they
face
can
the camera
so they can see
my
your shirt.
Yep. It's got
Is that
Mickey
the one they're
Mouse on it.
still able to make or had to stop?
No, they had to stop,
Okay.
because the mouse doesn't like the mouse only likes pride things and not gun things. So if you do gun
Oh.
things with the
Yeah.
mouse, then you get sued by the mouse.
Grooming kids, cool. Gun, bad.
Yeah, that's bad. So a 938, huh? So that's actually one of my favorite little handguns.
It really is.
It's like it's almost like a
It's a
like
pocket
little model
1911.
gun. Yeah, it's a little bitty 1911,
Yeah,
9
really what it
millimeter.
is.
Would that fit in my purse?
It would totally
Oh, yeah,
fit in your
no,
purse.
you could fit like 8 of those in your purse.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not that purse. You could probably fit 3 in that.
Yeah, you could fit 3 in that purse.
3?
But a SIG 938, so it looks like a gun, it feels like a gun, it shoots like a gun. It's
Yep.
small, so it's not going to fill your hand, but it doesn't. It's not like a little compact Glock or something where your bottom fingers have no place to go.
No, it's very comfortable. to
And
shoot.
but it is a single action gun,
Huh.
right? So you have to carry it in condition 1,
Yep.
or don't carry it at all. Which means cocked with the safety on. It has a thumb safety, just like a 1911.
Right.
Yeah. I actually lost one once. Matter of fact, if you're listening and you have my SIG 938 somewhere in North St. Louis County, I would like it back.
I thought you were going to say keep an eye out. It looks like this.
How did that happen?
What
Well, we
happened?
like to tell stories on this show.
Yeah,
And
let's
stories
just-
about,
let's roll right into
we
it.
talk about guns and how to protect yourself and how to be safe with guns. And one of the things you should never do is lose a gun.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And I have done that. And so here's how it went down. I was goose hunting in Arkansas. Okay. And which is a whole story all in of itself. Don't ever go field goose hunting in Arkansas in January or February. It was the most miserable experience of my life. You basically lay in a giant duffel bag full of spiders in a field. It's like 20 degrees below zero, and you lay in this dark duffel bag full of spiders with your 12 gauge and 3-inch shells and wait for somebody to yell, "Bust them!" And then you have to do a half sit-up, opening the duffel bag and shooting straight up in the air at the geese that are right above you.
This is the weirdest episode of Fear Factor ever.
And so, first of all, if you're fat, it isn't very fun because you can't do a half sit-up and shoot your gun.
Sure.
I did not have that issue, but I was not in as good a shape then as I was now. So it was a real workout. I mean, every time they yelled "bust them," you had to do a half sit-up and then shoot. And you're shooting, was it threes or whatever? So they're kicking your butt as far as the recoil, and you're trying to sit in a half sit-up, shooting straight up in the air. Well, anyway, we got some geese, some snow geese and whatnot, and it was a long trip. And I was driving home. And I left my truck at my buddy's house in North St. Louis County. I had a big 2500 HD lifted 37-inch swamp tires. It was redneck AF. And I had a tool bed box in the back, and I had my 938 on me. And so when I got to North County, I had put a bunch of my decoys and stuff and whatever, and my shotgun in the bed of the truck. And then when I was leaving this North County area, where did I put my pistola? Well, I put it in my lap. Because I had to stop at several stoplights, and it was like 3 a.m. And so I had the pistola in my lap. Now, I was tired. I was not intoxicated in any way. I was just dead nuts tired.
Yeah, if you're driving straight from Arkansas, it's not exactly.
So I don't know how this happened until weeks later. I'll get into that in a second. But so I pull up to a stoplight, and my truck bed box opens up, and I realize, I forgot to latch that down. So at the stoplight, I jump out of my truck, and when I jump out of my truck, I hear something metallic and small hit the ground. And so I quickly looked around. I'm like, what was that? Oh, well, okay, I guess it was nothing. And I secure the bed thing, and I drive away, and I drive home. That was probably like a Friday or something. Well, Monday morning, I get to work, and I pop open the center console of my truck, take my SIG 938 out, and put it in my holster, and it's not there. And I'm like,
It wasn't one of those moments where instantly you're like, that's that sound.
Yes, that's exactly the moment I had. And I was like, oh, my God. The gun was in my lap when I got out of the truck, and it was in the middle of an intersection on like Woodson Road. And so now, and then
there's
so
now an evidence locker somewhere in North County.
Evidently not, because I did what you should do, and I reported my stupidity to the local law enforcement. You could report your gun lost or stolen, right? In my case, it was lost. But I guarantee you somebody picked it up. And so I did report it lost and stolen. I ate my crow, that I'm an idiot and that I lost a firearm in public. and that way, if the thing ever did turn up in a murder scene or something,
it's not coming back to you.
It's not my problem. And I can get my gun back after the trial's over. Yeah. Right. So I'm still waiting to get it back. I did buy a replacement 938. I have another one.
Okay.
But yeah, I never did see that gun again.
I have a lost gun story.
Do you?
Not me personally. This is literally the worst case humanly possible that you can imagine for a lost gun. So, long story short, we did this raid on this town in Iraq, and out of all the stupid raids we did where there are dry holes and we got nothing, I'll never forget, it was a big hill, and then you go downhill and you're into the town, and we get to the crest of the hill, and our radio starts blowing up, and it's the fixed wing guys. And they're like, get in town now. There is people everywhere. And it was like an episode of Monty Python. We crest the whole hill and roll in, and I see Humvees going every single direction possible. Dudes running everywhere. And one of my seniors, Corporal Dale, hanging out of the door of a Humvee, flying through this farm field, and tackles this dude. Like, just pure chaos everywhere. Well, fast forward, it turns out we hit this town as the insurgents were coming together from different factions to have a meeting. Yeah. So we thought we ended everything. Then something else kicked off, and it started a 4-hour gunfight. Right before the gunfight happens, we decided something didn't seem right. We were going to search by the river. So we start skirting the river, and all of a sudden we stop. Lead vehicle stops. We have one more area we were going to check and we were done for the day. And then all of a sudden, our section leader, his Humvee just peels off and takes off. And I get on the radio with my gunners and I'm like, hey, where are you guys going? Don't worry about it. Okay. Turns out, I won't say his name because he's still active. When he got out to search something, had a habit of when he gets out, sets his M4 on the hood, climbs out and then grabs it. And he forgot to grab it.
So he left it on the hood of the Humvee like I would leave a cup of coffee on the hood of my car at the gas station.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it fell off in a grassy area where there was insurgents all over the place. So he peeled back, and luckily he was able to recover it and get it. And no joke, not more than 2 minutes after he recovered his rifle was the beginning of a 4-hour gunfight, maybe 75, 150 yards from where he had left his rifle.
Wow. Wow. I love stories like that. We'll have more stories like that when we come back after this break. All right, so we just got done telling war stories. Alex has got war stories. We talked about me losing my SIG 938 because Alex has got his dad at 938 for Father's Day. That's how this all started.
Well, he got it for him. I'm not that good of a kid. Are you kidding me?
Oh, gotcha.
I just led him in the direction that it was.
Now, in your story, you mentioned, dry holes, and that made me think.
Oh no!
When you hit a hole that has something, do you call it a wet hole or a moist hole?
I mean, you probably could. We just call it success. Which actually sounds the same, anyways.
I'm sitting
I was
this
just
one
wondering.
out.
I didn't know if there was an antithesis to a dry hole.
I'm trying to remember what we called it. I think just I don't remember what we'd call it. Just good job, usually.
Yeah, pink mist hole.
Yeah. Usually, if it was a really good day, that's how it'd go.
So, Krystal, have you lost any guns?
Only under my seat accidentally for actually it was a little while. It was like a week, and I didn't tell Sean, and I was freaking out.
So you didn't know where the gun
Low-key.
was for a week.
Yep, low key.
And that is the absolute worst feeling on earth. And I've got tons of stories like that.
That pity your stomach fear.
Oh yeah. So tell us more.
No, that's it.
So
I don't want to relive this. It was horrible.
Well, no, I want to hear it. I mean, other women need to hear this story. It's not just us guys that do this stuff, but you need to kind of keep track of your guns. But I got a story about that. But tell us how'd you notice it was gone?
Well, I don't know. I go back and forth between keeping it in my purse or depending on which car I'm driving in the center console, or I'll stick it under my seat. Right. I don't know if that's legal, but
it is. Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's not necessarily the best thing because if you have to jam on the brakes, the gun's going to come sliding out from under the seat.
There's
Or if you forget, you put it there and lose it for weeks.
Well,
that's another
thing. You know what? Okay.
Out of sight, out of mind.
So I don't know. I switched purses that day. And then I was like,
so
oh, shoot.
Concealed, even you don't know where it is.
True. That's what happened. I switched purses, and then, you got to move your wallet over and everything else. And then I was like, maybe well, SH.
It's the opposite of an everyday carry. So when I find it, I carry.
Oh,
so I lose guns all the time.
We had an
say
employee. You'll know who I'm talking about. Little sporadic and messy.
Yeah.
I would say that's an underestimate. And he was all excited one day. He came in with a wheel gun. We hadn't seen him with a wheel gun ever. And we're like, where'd that come from? Did you get a new gun? No, I thought I lost this 2 years ago.
2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's about how long I've been missing one. There's been long times I've been missing guns. So let me lay this out. I have well over $100,000 worth of guns.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I would say I think my gun inventory sheet, not including the guns we sell, these are just my personal guns. I think I've got like 80 to 100 guns.
Well, yeah, gun room.
Yeah, I've got a gun room. It's secured and blah, blah, blah. But I don't keep all my guns in my gun room.
Right.
Which is kind of stupid. Like when I built the gun room, I thought, I'm gonna have all my guns on the wall so I could bring someone in here and I could show them my guns, my power, right?
Well, you got to have some with you.
Well, but here's the thing. Then a buddy of mine gets murdered in his house and his kids almost die and blah, blah, blah over in Illinois. And I changed my thought process on where I keep my guns, So I still have guns in my gun room, but I also have guns all over my house. Like in every room, there is a gun. I set it up so that there is not 15 steps in my house that I can't reach a loaded firearm. Now, I don't have any little kids running around. All these guns are high and out of, if a little kid comes over, Alex brings his son, his son's not going to get in any of these guns. But I know where they are, usually. He would have to be a heck of a climber. They're all up high cabinets, high tops of things, behind things, up high, whatever. And so, and I mapped it all out. I wrote them all down, because we're talking a huge house with 17 guns in places.
No, it's easy to forget like a year later. Where did I put that thing?
Right, and so that happens all the time. I'm like, you know what? I haven't seen that Glock 19 with the Punisher skull in a long time. Oh, that's in the shower.
Do you ever have it to where like you know that you've seen it since, but for some reason a certain location stands out and it's not there?
And then you have to search everything and inventory the entire gun thing to find that gun, and then you find it and you feel
just that relief, like, okay, I wasn't starting to freak out yet, but I was getting uncomfortable.
Right, because there's always a chance that, one could disappear from a car, one could disappear from your house if you have people in it and you don't know them, whatever, contractors, whatever. But I also own boats, and I own 3 houses, and I own, 8 cars. And so I don't keep guns in all those things. But some of those things always have guns in them. And so, there's a lot of times when it's like, man, I haven't seen my ⵗᵗ&ᵗ7M13 and well, that's like a $3,000 pistol. Well, what the hell did I do with it? And then I go look in car 1 and it's not there, and I'm like, oh crap. And then I look at car 2 and it's not there. I'm like, this is bad. I look at car 3 and it's like, whoo, there it is. I found it. But in car 1 and 2, I found the Glock and the SIG, so we're good too. It's when you have that many guns, sometimes you just don't know where they all are at once.
Do you ever find one you forgot you had?
Yes.
I've done that before. What is this? Oh yeah. I forgot I had this thing.
Yeah, I'm still missing a 22 long rifle with a scope on it from when I was a teenager. It was given to me by one of my uncles on my confirmation or something like that. It was a fun Plinken 22, and it was in my mom's office at her work, which was up in a farm somewhere. Not really a farm; it was a marina. But anyway, it disappeared from there. I guess somebody stole it from there because that gun has never been recovered. And I didn't know the serial number, so I couldn't report it lost or stolen. I do have one gun in my collection that I found. Yeah, in the same marina. This goes back to probably when I was like 14 or 15. I found a Sterling 25 auto.
Wow.
In the gravel in the parking lot.
Yo, that may be a dump weapon, bro.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, when I was a police officer, I ran the serial numbers to make sure it wasn't stolen or lost.
Does that come up like? Does it something alert someone that there's been a hit on a gun if you search?
Yeah.
Okay, I heard that and I didn't know if that was true or not.
Yeah, you can't just run a gun and, as a police officer and it's that gun's reported lost or stolen. Oh, cool. I don't have that one right now. I just made those numbers up.
Yeah.
No, that's not how that works.
Okay.
Yeah, no. And I was fully prepared to, turn it in if it was the case and, tell the truth. Hey, I found this when I was like 14 and, hey, here's your murder weapon. I still have that gun. It's funny because it's the only gun in my entire gun room that has one of those gun lock cables through it. I don't even know why I did that. I just did it years ago, and I don't know where the key is. It's not like I'm going to shoot this little piece of crap.
We'll grab you a breach pad.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So, knowing where your gun is an important thing. And if you're like me and you have lots of guns and you do put them around your home, it's good to write down where you put them somewhere so that a year or two from now, as your dementia starts to settle in, you don't have to worry about where did I put that and trying to remember where all those places are.
Okay, I have questions for both of you guys. Do your wives know where the guns are?
Yes.
Ish.
Alex!
Ish.
Really?
She knows where some are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I have to be a little bit more careful because I got a little dude.
Yeah.
But I've got them in multiple different locations. So I think she knows where. If I had to tell her to go find all of them, might be able to. But I know she'd be able to find 3 or 4. Sometimes it takes me like half hour to find all of them.
Do you ever do I'm an intruder, get a gun right now? Would they be able to?
Oh, she wouldn't even know how to take the safety off.
Oh. Wow.
Alex, no.
I've tried.
She has no interest?
She does now. Now it's just opportunity. So like did before, like no interest before at all, actually. Now it's wants to, but just no time because I'm not going to teach her.
Yeah.
So she's going to have to go somewhere and take a class, and getting 3 to 4 hours of an opportunity for her to go take a class has just been limited.
Right.
So that's why we're looking to get in some sort of dog series.
Oh, that's
for
right.
when I'm gone, have something to rip somebody's head.
Well, there you go. Malino incoming. All right, we'll be back right after this. Hey guys, we got a new sponsor on the show, and it's actually one of my good friends hunting with for years and years. Introducing Adam Gubin from Rimco Scrap in St. Louis. Hi, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on, Tommy.
Well, you just told everybody out there. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. The cat's out of the bag. I'm no longer ᵃᵗ&ᵗ, aka ᵃᵗ&ᵗ, the local warlord. I'm now Tommy. But that's okay. I can be Tommy Boy.
Hey, when you're a close friend, you can do those types of things.
That's exactly right. You know what's funny is, for years, if someone, when I was a police officer, if someone at the mall yelled Tommy, I knew that I could act a certain way. But if somebody yelled TJ, I knew that they knew me from law enforcement. So having different nicknames from different friend groups, from your really good friends to the people that shoot at you.
Absolutely.
It's a good thing. But anyway, Rimco Scrap. So you guys, you're just off North Broadway in St. Couis.
Correct.
And you guys do metal recycling. What does that mean?
So we are fourth generation of family business. My great grandfather started in 1901. My brother and I have taken it over since 2001 with 49% of the company. We bought the remaining 51% in 2020. So basically, people don't realize in our industry what it entails and the need for it, such as repurpose. Right. So, you think about your washer and dryer, your hot water heater, your vehicle, everything from your computer to your tablet.
Everything made of metal.
Everything consists or based around the recycling industry. About 80% of goods that are made today are based around the recycling industry, being that the mines just aren't there refining the scrap or the new materials and making new metal out of it. So they're reliant upon our industry today.
So your industry feeds the manufacturing industries, but it actually...
Our industry feeds the steel mill that feeds the manufacturing industry.
Okay.
So they remelt our scrap into new product, whether it's beams, channels, plates, coils.
So a product comes out, a hot water heater comes out, it lives its life, it heats my showers, and the next thing you know, it's dead. It's in a pickup truck, it's at your place. It gets turned into, it's scrap at that point.
And it gets broke down. The non-metallics go one way, the ferrous and the non-ferrous metals go the other way. And then the non-metallics, unfortunately, have to go to the landfill. And then the non-ferrous and ferrous metals will go to the mills to be remelted and then
turned into a new hot water heater or a Tesla or something.
All the above.
Right on.
Yep.
Right on. So if I'm a guy that just goes around collecting scrap and that's how I make my money, I can come to you any day of the week and get weighed, get paid, and have a nice day, as
absolutely,
you say?
Absolutely. Every day but Sunday.
Okay. What if I just have a washing machine?
Not a problem.
A bicycle?
Absolutely.
Pickup truck?
Absolutely. As long as you have the time.
I saw on your website you guys actually do barges. What if I have a bunch of barges?
We would gladly come down and give you guys a bid on it and talk about the process as far as bidding it all the way to processing it and hauling off
Imagine cutting up a barge is kind of a big ordeal.
It can be.
Yeah. But you guys can do that.
Absolutely.
So everything from beer cans to barges.
Absolutely.
You can do.
Absolutely.
I know he wants me to say aluminum, so it's not so.
I would prefer aluminum, but we'll go with beer.
Well, there's a lot of aluminum cans out there.
Yeah, but there's
hey,
soda.
I didn't say White Claw cans.
Hey, TJ, there is soda in cans too, not just beer.
Sorry. All right. Well, if you are in the St. Louis area and you have scrap, you've got those old bikes laying around, you got the dishwasher, you got the washing machine, you got the old hot water heater, or something comes up where you need to get rid of some metal stuff, you can simply just go to rimcoscrap.com, find the directions, head downtown, drop it off, get weighed. What do you say?
Get weighed, get paid, and have a nice day. As well, we do have containers that we do put on site.
Oh, so like
therefore, if any industry or manufacturing, we have a fleet of gondola trailers, roll-off containers, and lugger boxes that we can also drop on site. Call dispatch. We'll swap them out, typically within 24 hours for service. Take it back to our facility. It's effortless for you guys.
So manufacturers, distributors, warehouses, anybody who's going to have scrap metal, they can bring a roll-off container or a dumpster or whatever to my location. I can fill it up. Matter of fact, I think we used you a few years ago because we had a bunch of ammo containers that were made out of a certain kind of metal that we needed to get rid of, and you guys made it disappear for us.
We did. And you got a check in the mail.
And we got a check in the mail. That's even better. So that's where the whole industrial and commercial part of Rimco comes in. So if you've just got a bag of soda cans,
Bring 'em in.
or you need a roll-off container, or you have an entire fleet of barges that need to be disposed of and turned into hot water heaters, you guys can help.
Absolutely.
Awesome. rimcoscrap.com, everybody. They're a great supporter of this show and everything we believe in, which is America.
Tommy, really?
Yeah. Adam and I recorded that the other day. I wanted to introduce the sponsor of the show, Rimco, and we didn't have that conversation before the show. Like, hey, you call me Tommy your whole life because we're really good friends and we hunt together. But my name on the air is TJ or Sig. I didn't make that clear. So yes, my nickname for old friends is Tommy.
Well, it's out now, though.
It is out.
So what
that's gonna be
happens
used all the
if
time now.
somebody calls you Tommy?
Well, I guess you have to make sure you're in the really good friend category first. Yeah, it's not like I'm not going to shoot you or anything. It is the name my mommy and daddy gave me.
Is it Thomas?
Actually, my name is Thomas. Yes.
Yeah.
But that gets confusing sometimes.
Yeah. Well, actually, my son is Thomas, so I'm junior,
right.
and my son took. He had a choice. We named my son Thomas the Third. Right. And so, but when he, as he grew up, he wanted to be called Thomas. Like Thomas is his name, and it works. It's with me. It just wouldn't have worked. I don't know. I was a Tommy. Yeah.
I've never
Tommy
heard
boy.
I've heard Tom is Tommy. I've never heard anybody call you Tom.
Yeah, no, nobody calls me
never
Tom.
heard
The
that.
only Tom in my family is my dad.
Yeah.
So you got Tom, Tommy, Thomas.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But everybody calls me TJ, pretty much. Like TJ's the name I go by in public for the most.
Oh, we've had new hires where somebody's like, I was talking to Tommy, and who's Tommy?
Oh, you mean if you have like
story.
a customer come in or something?
Or Rachel.
Yeah.
Rachel's known you.
Oh,
long enough
Rachel.
for-
Yeah, Rachel, our customer service manager at TacticalSht
Hi.
in St. Peter's. She was my bartender.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bartenders make incredible customer service people.
True
Yes.
story.
They do.
Yeah. No, that was a winning move.
Yeah, and her brother, who runs our warehouse, Michael, he was also my bartender.
Yeah.
And because of that, sometimes he gets a little lippy. Because he
Like
knows me
bartenders
from-
do.
from
I
when I
could see
wasn't
that.
his boss and I was just drunk Tommy. Yeah. So Michael, if you're listening, keep that stuff to yourself. Right? But no, Rachel's awesome. She handles a lot of grief. We take a lot of grief at TacticalSht
Hi.
because we sell so much ammunition. All over the country. And ammunition, the supply chain for ammunition is an absolute nightmare. And it's been like that for years. It really got that way during the pandemic and what led to the ammunition crisis. And it's really stayed effed up.
It's never gotten, not even a hint of better.
I mean, it's almost impossible to sell ammunition that you have in your warehouse because it sells so fast that you're literally selling it before it lands at your dock. Right. And then with shipping logistics and other warehouse logistics, because we've got 8 warehouses across the country. Basically, if ammunition comes into Virginia, it goes to one warehouse. If it comes into Miami, it goes into another. If it comes into Dallas, it goes to another. And then it comes off a truck there in shipping containers, usually 1.2 million rounds per container. Then that'll be broke down into, say, 12 pallets of 100,000 rounds each. And they don't ship. My warehouse in St. Louis, which is where it's our fulfillment center. We do fulfillment out of St. Louis and Clearwater. We cannot possibly receive shipping containers full of ammunition. We could take maybe 1 or 2, but we can't take all of them at once. So basically, they break them down in the receiving warehouses, and then they ship pallets to us. So we might have, let's say, 2 pallets of 5.56 coming in a week, 2 pallets of 7.62 by 39 coming in a week, 3 pallets of 9mm a week, and those pallets are literally sold before they land. Everything on that pallet is already sold.
So sometimes we have 6 sold when we get 2 in.
Yeah, so and sometimes the speed and the velocity of the sales is faster than the logistics of the shipping, and so we get behind, and that's why Rachel has to deal with it. We're trying to teach our customers, look, if you're buying ammo from us, you're buying at some of the lowest prices in the nation. We literally compete with the cheapest guys on the planet when it comes to ammunition online. I'm going to say online because in our retail stores it's a little higher, and it has to be. We can't make any money in the retail stores if we don't sell it at retail. Right. But I'll tell you what we're trying to do is train the customers that, hey, it says right on it a 2 to 3 week lead time. If you want it shipped tomorrow, go pay $100 more for it and order it from Midway USA.
Well, Amazon has ruined everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody wants it tomorrow.
I was telling
literally tomorrow.
I literally had someone ask, when is my stuff going to ship, with a little bit of an attitude. So I'm like, well, let me check your order number. And I look it up. He had ordered 6 minutes ago. 6 minutes prior, wanted to know where his tracking was at. I've had people cuss me out because they made the mistake of letting me do customer service for a while.
Well, we used to call our customer service throat punch customer service. So for years, we would just straight up, like Alex would handle customer service, or we had this other gal, and it was like the home of the throat rolls, right? There was no
more like
holds
Dick's
barred.
Last Resort, that restaurant where they're just absolutely verbally abusive to you.
Yeah, and that's kind of the way we were. Like, what's the matter? You wake up on the wrong side of the bed today?
How?
Oh, you want to
did
come
that?
back of the line? I was the soup Nazi. That's what it was.
After we became an Inc. 500 company, we had to start becoming more polite. And
I was just going to ask, when was the switch over from that? Because I don't think you guys did that anymore.
That and the stupid Google reviews and all the Yelps and stuff and the Better Business Bureau. We had somebody open up a Better Business Bureau complaint on us the other day because they had ordered something that said that shipped in 3 days and it shipped in 6. And so they opened up a BBB complaint because their order took an extra 3 days to get. This is the type of customers we deal with on a regular basis. And the problem is, outside of our retail stores, nobody ever takes the time to go give a good review to an internet-based company for doing a good job.
Yeah.
You only get reviews from the people that are ticked off.
Yeah.
And so, we're maintaining a 4.1 star on Google, right? Which is out of 5. That's not bad. But if you go in there, there's probably, I think there's like 700 or 800 reviews, and the ones that are bad, there might be 100 or so reviews that are bad, and they're all about shipping delays and blah blah blah. And what you need to consider, though, when you look at that, with our company or anybody else's, our company has served 300,000 customers in the last 10 years. We have 100 bad reviews.
Not
Think
a bad
about
ratio.
that. In any business, you get theft. If you run a retail store, you now run a retail store, you're going to have theft. It's going to be a percentage number, hopefully single digits, 1, 2, or 3, but you're going to have theft and loss and, and whatever. And it's the same thing with online. You're going to have things that don't get shipped on time. You're going to have human error. You're going to have the wrong product sent to the wrong place.
Right.
You have errors when you're dealing with thousands of people per week, thousands of orders per week. So anyway, I don't know why I got on that, but it's Father's Day and I'm a father, so I just wanted to vent. We'll be back right after this. So tomorrow's Father's Day.
Yep.
And if you haven't gotten anything for your dad yet, you got to go to TacticalSht in St. Peter's because we're having a Father's Day sale. It's 10% off everything. Everything. That's 10% off ammo, 10% off guns, 10% off gear, armor, night vision. You name it, 10% off everything. All you have to do is use the promo code. You have to say the secret word. Now, this works on our website as well. If you're listening down in Union, you can go to the website and use this code as well. Pull Out Game Week. All one word. Pull Out Game Week saves you 10%.
Mention it at checkout.
Is anybody going shooting this weekend for Father's Day? It's supposed to rain Sunday, so I'm hoping that goes away.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm not exactly thrilled though.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do a car show tomorrow.
Really?
Take little guy to a car show. There's like
you got one of
3 or
those
4.
one of those Camaro L. What are they? 1L ZL1. Is that similar to the NASCAR one that was whooping up on the Ferraris at the 24-hour race last weekend?
Yeah, that was a ZL1. I'm sure slightly modified
by NASCAR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the ZL1.
That thing's nice, man.
That was only That one's 700 horsepower, so it's only 50 more than what I have now.
Yeah, no, that car's a monster. So you're going to go to a car show?
Yeah.
That's cool. I went to Fastlane's Cars at Coffee last weekend.
I heard that was good.
Actually, was that? Yeah, it was Saturday, and then I went to European car show.
I wanted
Sunday.
to go and just skip because of the weather, because he would have got burned out pretty quick on that, but there looked like there was some cool cars at the European.
Oh, the European, yeah. So we had all the Lambos out. It was like Skittle factor.
Yeah.
So we always break the cojones of the guys that have the Ferraris, right? So there's a row of Ferraris on the right, and there's a row of Lamborghinis on the left.
Okay.
And there's a mass of people. Right, St. Louis came out in droves to see the European cars, and we have a picture of it. All of the people is on the Lamborghini side, and there's like nobody looking at the Raris. And the reason was very simple. Lamborghini has Skittle factor.
Yeah.
It was like fluorescent green, orange, bright red, dark red, purple, green, black, blah, blah, blah. It's just like Skittle factor. On the Ferraris, it was red,
yellow,
black, gray, red, red, one yellow.
Yeah. And I think isn't that like all your color options for Ferrari?
Yeah, they don't. Well, you can get custom color paint. Yeah, like my buddy just got an F8 Tributo in like this awesome green metallic, but you have to pay like $35,000 to get that paint job.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're already buying a Ferrari,
it's kind of like the paint on your Camaro. Yours is like a purple metallic, right?
Yeah.
I love metallic flake paint. You know what? If I could paint my car like a bass boat, I'd do it.
That's how I did my bike, basically. The amount of flake we put into that was ridiculous.
We should evolve this show to be about more than guns. We should do motorcycles. We should do cars, fishing.
Typically, everybody who's into guns is into that as well.
Yeah, well,
that's true.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm going fishing with my dad. That's what we're doing for Father's Day. Matter of fact, my son got me fishing poles for Father's Day.
Nice.
And he gave them to me already.
Nice.
He actually made me do a scavenger hunt when I got home last night.
How fun.
Yeah, he put all these notes on the refrigerator of where each present was hidden. And
that's so cute.
One was in the man cave, one was on the back deck, one was in one of the dog kennels downstairs. But he got me 3 Abu Garcia bait casters.
Nice.
So, they're kind of for him too.
Sure.
Because we already had 2 Abu Garcia bait casters, but because we're catching so many bass at the lake behind my house, we're always changing lures.
Yeah,
we got top water, we got worms, we got top water, we've got chatter baits, we got all kinds of different baits. And so, one day I'm like, man, it's a shame we don't have like 5 or 6 bait casters, because we could rig one up for each purpose and then just go get a different rod rather than having to re-rig every rod every time when you're re-rigging 3 times per day. And so sure enough, he said, well, that's a great idea, and went and bought me 3 rods.
Oh,
nice. Yeah.
Sweet son.
Yeah. He is a good boy.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys have pulled some massive fish out of that lake.
We have. It's been slow the last week or so. I don't know if they're getting tired of us. Like they're starting to see these different lures too much, or if it's the weather because it's been so nice.
Yeah.
The pressure or whatever. I don't know. I'm not an avid bass fisherman. I'll admit I'm more of a saltwater fisherman. I've been bass fishing my whole life, but never as a passion or a focus. But now I'm all focused on it. So I'm like learning about bass habits and bait presentations and blah blah blah. And we've been catching some 5-pounders. So.
Nice.
It's been good. He caught a huge crappie last night. Sends me a picture. He's like, "This is the weirdest looking bass I've ever seen." I'm like, that's a crappie, bro. So you were telling me a story off the air about something about the Marine Corps. You punched a guy in the face or something.
Yeah. So
it has nothing to do with fishing, but it has everything to do with the show. So here we go.
Congrats to now Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, Ruiz.
Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So there's sergeant majors, and usually they're like a battalion sergeant major, a regimental sergeant major, and they're the enlisted advisor to the officer that's supposed to basically speak on behalf of the enlisted. I don't necessarily agree that actually happens, but whatever. So Joey from Wiseline, he does all our slide cut packages and all that.
Right. So if you have a Glock or a Smith & Wesson or something, you can send your slide to us and and choose a cut design, and then he puts it through his machines, cuts it, and then Sarah coats it whatever color you want it.
Yep.
And then we ship it back to you. It takes a couple weeks, but Joey's the one that does that work, and he's a Marine that used to be in your unit, right?
Yeah, we went to boot camp together. We were in infantry school together. We deployed together. We were roommates. We go way back. He hits me up at like 3 o'clock in the morning the other day, and he's like, dude, you're not going to believe this. Look up who just got selected for Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. Turns out the guy who got selected for Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps is his and I's old, they call it J-Belt drill instructor. J-Belt is usually have 2 or 3 drill instructors. You have your senior, your one who's probably next in slot to be senior, and then your J-Belt is your junior, and he's usually on his first or second cycle. So he's usually the mean one. The senior's kind of like your dad. He sternly corrects you, but he's more there to teach you, whereas the J-Belt is there just to slay you and make you hate life and have nightmares about it. And this guy was terrifying, like legitimately terrifying. I watched him on the quarterdeck one day. He was thrashing the daylights out of this kid. He drops down on his stomach, licks the sweat off this dude's forehead, looks at him and goes, I love the taste of your pay. Like, that just terrified all of us. And
This is so disturbing.
he'd tell everybody he's gonna break him, and he told me, he's like, I'm gonna break you. You're never gonna be a Marine. I'm gonna crush you. You're gonna be here forever. Well, we were doing a PT test, and I rolled my ankle real bad, sprained it, passed the PT test, but had to go to a med platoon where basically I just sat on my butt for 2 weeks with my foot up in the air till my ankle healed and picked back up. So I got dropped and had to spend an extra 2 weeks in boot camp. Might as well be like another 20 years. Mm-hmm. So they, when they go to drop you to medical platoon, they have you gather your stuff, unlock your rifle, and you take all that and you get transferred to just another barracks. There's really, I don't remember doing any paperwork, nothing. It was just, you move all your stuff. So he's in my ear just screaming. They've got their Smokey the Bear covers on, and those brims, I don't know what they put in them, but they are stupid hard. Mm-hmm. And he'd keep headbutting me with the brim as I'm trying to unlock my rifle. I'm flustered. I'm upset. I'm pissed off. And he's screaming, I told you I'd break you. I told you I'd break you. And everybody's like, man, you're screaming at me like that. I turn around and punch him. Well, I actually tried to.
Oh, boy.
Right in the middle of him screaming, I just cocked back and turned. And I knew I screwed up because he had the biggest grin on his face that I've ever seen. I'm like, uh-oh. And he whooped my ass. I did tackle him into the bunk beds, which just made it worse. And everything happened so fast, it's hard to remember, but I do know it ended after he put my face through a foot locker.
Nice.
Allegedly.
Oh.
So all these guys are out there that said, I would have joined the military, but I would have punched my drill instructor.
Yeah.
But you actually tried to.
Yeah, and it didn't go well. I can tell you right now, you could attempt to, but it's not going to work out very well. And now, then Staff Sergeant Ruiz is now selected to be Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, the highest enlisted position in the Marine Corps.
Wow.
So congrats to him. He is a terrifying guy. Apparently an outstanding Marine. He has a Bronze Star with a V for Valor and a Combat Action Ribbon with a Gold Star, which I don't even know how that's possible. I think that's combat in 5 different AOs or zones.
Wow.
So I've seen 2 before, and 2 is impressive. 5 that's a whole other level.
That's pretty gnarly. That's nice to know that there's still someone with some
Supply clerk.
cojones in the military.
Yeah, that's the weird part is he was a supply clerk. Like, he had, I think, 4 ribbons in boot camp as a staff sergeant. We all laughed at him after the fact because we're like, what a boot poke. And turns out he ended up being quite a badass.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Well, we're coming up on the end of the show. And I don't know that we did anything this week to teach anybody anything other than don't lose your guns.
Don't lose your
And don't
guns.
try to hit your drill
But
instructor.
I hope everybody has a wonderful Father's Day weekend with their dads. If their dads are still with us, if they're not,
Have good memories.
have good memories. Yeah, yeah. I did want to throw a shout out to your new shop. You're going to be open this weekend. So if you're not
yes.
fishing with your dad and you want to go like get nutritional supplements for your dad, or you want to go
Or
to
you want to
stoned to bejesus with your
get some
dad,
THC.
yeah, you can go to Higher Nutrition in Warrenton.
Yeah,
And see Krystal. She actually works there.
I do. Don't be weird though. Oh, shout.
No, be weird.
No,
please,
don't
please,
be
by
weird.
all
Oh, I
means,
should have said that.
Be weird. Just remember, she's packing. Hey, guys, we'll see you guys next week.